I'm Adam Biggers with Thomas Beindit. And Thomas, it was we were joking before the game that it might be a blowout. I thought that this would be a game where Michigan State came out. We thought that the Spartans are learning to win. They're playing better. This was going to be a game where they come and kind of assert themselves. I was completely wrong about that. And the scoreboard, 86-57. I don't really know what else to say. What about this game just impressed you the most?
To start off with, I agreed. I didn't think it would be a blowout. I thought it would be a tight game, but I did think MSU was going to win. They've been playing pretty well. The gritty road win against Nebraska. Obviously, they beat this same Michigan team like 9-10 days ago. As far as the game itself, Michigan had two things going. The first was their offense was running about as good as it's run all year. Three-point shooting was on all night. And then from a defensive standpoint, they did a great job of pressuring MSU's guards, who played terribly the entire night. Tum Tum Nairn was really bad. Cassius Winston had one of his worst games as a Spartan, which obviously you would assume he would grow from it. But, just those turnovers just fueled everything. And final score obviously indicates that.
It was, and for Cassius, it is kind of odd considering I think he had like 15 or 16 the last time against Michigan. So you would think that maybe this would be a game where he kind of comes out and gets together a little bit. He'll get the shot a little bit tighter. But it's and I found out Tom Izzo was even complimenting Miles Bridges. I don't think that you can really say that anybody played well for Michigan State tonight in any capacity. But on the other hand, you look at Michigan there. Xavier Simpson had a big game. Derek Walton, Mo Wagner, and DJ Wilson. And you and I have talked a lot about Mo and DJ. When these guys are aggressive like they were tonight, it gives Michigan a huge advantage, I think, over a lot of teams. Just lengthwise, athleticism. Mo and DJ really proved that they can do it all. And tonight was one of those games, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. I've always thought that DJ Wilson's and Mo Wagner are kind of the X factor, so to speak, as far as Michigan goes this year, and to have them both play pretty well. Wilson has that kind of odd tech after he talks a little smack after the dunk, but they both played well, and I think when those two are playing well, Michigan can really compete with a lot of teams. Unfortunately for the Wolverines, they don't necessarily play that well all the time, or at least together. I think it was a big win, and I'll ask you this: where do you think both these teams, I think, are firmly on the bubble? I think anybody who says otherwise is just a lunatic.
Firmly. Firmly.
How do you think this game impacts the bubble, one way or the other, for the two teams?
It's good for Michigan, obviously. And I guess to go easy way, it's bad for Michigan State. If you're Michigan State and you think that you're kind of on the brink of doing something, maybe putting it together late in the year, a win here means something. When you're Michigan, look, the roles were reversed back in East Lansing. You're Michigan, you're the team that seems to have a little bit of control. You lose that game. It's like the more that I try to rationalize what can and can't happen with Michigan or Michigan State this year, the more confused I just get. The only thing, and I think you're right, the only thing that is that's definite right now is that these are two bubble teams. This win isn't going to affect either way, whether they get in or they don't. The bottom line is both teams have to keep winning.
Yeah, I said this a couple weeks ago when MSU had that Purdue-Michigan week. I said that Michigan State can't play themselves in, but they can play themselves out.
Yeah.
And I felt like this game was the same for Michigan because, they already had, I want to say, 9 losses this season. And to lose the 10th game, and to lose it at home against another bubble team, I think would have been devastating. But obviously they get the win. I think they need the old survive and advance mindset from here on out. But, it should be an interesting next month or so.
And final notes real quick. Derek Walton, of course, and good. And Derek, 20-plus point games. Let me spit it out here. He's playing out of his mind. I asked Tom Izzo after the Michigan out in East Lansing, or I asked Beeline and Izzo if they thought that Derek was playing some of the best basketball of their career. At that point, I don't think either coach was ready to commit to it. After tonight, both of them are. Tom Izzo mentioned how Derek had shot 4 for 12, but I mentioned how Derek had gotten to the line. John Beeline had said, 4 years or something, a lot of basketball. He wasn't sure. Tonight, I think, he put it to rest unequivocally. Derek Walton is playing the best basketball of his career. He's Michigan's MVP. I don't think there's any debating that. And, you know, and all in good fun, the rivalry, he said that he hopes everybody, all the Michigan State fans, had a safe drive home to, I'm trying to say this with a straight face, hope they have a safe drive home to East Lansing. This game meant a lot for Derek, and it's, you know, it's they'll say, well, one game tonight. This one really was special, and there's nobody who can say anything else any differently.
The thing too is that, like, from a Michigan perspective, I think a lot of Michigan fans have viewed this as a pretty even rivalry for the past 5-6 years or so. But the truth of the matter is that Michigan has lost. They lost 5 in a row coming into this thing, and most of the guys on this team had not beaten Michigan State, and if they had beaten them as freshmen. So, I mean, you do have to step back and realize that, yeah, Michigan really needed to win badly in this rivalry, and they get the job done. And obviously, for the seniors, specifically Derek Walton, the in-state kid, it's a huge win.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. I'm Adam Biggers. You can follow me on Twitter at AdamBiggers81.
Thomas Beindit, you can follow me on Twitter at TBeindit. I'm right for BT Powerhouse for SB Nation.
And FanRag Sports on this end. Thanks again for watching, guys. We appreciate it.